Is your business isn't growing as fast as you like it, it's because of your marketing. I have built over 2,000 funnels in 1,067 different industries to generate my clients over $7.8 billion in sales. So I know a thing or two about marketing. I speak to thousands of business owners every single month, and there are 3 big mistakes that all of them are making with their marketing. But before we dive into what these mistakes are, let's take a look at what good marketing actually looks like. First things first, it is not about having the sexiest, shiniest logo or the most clean brand aesthetic on your Instagram feed. Marketing simply has one job, and that is to make sales redundant. Because when your marketing is good enough, you have built up so much pent-up demand that people are already sold. Just think about an Apple store. When you go in there, does the sales representative need to close you, or do they need to do a big job in selling you in what it is you should buy? No, they are simply order takers, and that's because their marketing is so good. It has built such a white hot desire that people go into those stores already completely sold. How do we actually do this? Well, the first thing that you need to do is intimately understand the pain of your prospects. Now, before you go, oh, I've heard all of this before. No, you haven't. Because if you had, your conversion rates would be through the roof. Instead of focusing on what it is that you've got to sell, focus on the pain that your prospect is trying to solve. Because your product, it is really a barrier in between the prospect going from the pain that they're experiencing to the pleasure that it is that they want. If they could just go straight from the pain to the thing that they wanted and not buy your product, that's what they want. So don't focus on the product, focus on the pain. And that's why most of the most successful businesses, it starts off with a founder who has experienced the pain in themselves. They know exactly who the avatar is because they were once them. So they can speak specifically to that person. It's like the fitness trainer who had a baby and then put on a whole bunch of weight and then wanted to shed that weight. They know all the niggles. And once you have dimensionalized that pain and really made it very clear to your prospect that you know exactly what it is that they're going through, this is when you start to hint at the solution to that problem. And you start to say like, hey, you've probably tried intermittent fasting. You've probably tried to do the paleo diet. You've probably tried keto, all of this stuff, and you still haven't lost weight. And there is a reason that you haven't lost that weight. This is us fanning the flames of desire. We know what you've gone through. We know what you've tried, and we know why you're still not where you want to be, and we've got the solution to get you there. And bad marketing is trying to have a convincing argument with the prospect, where great marketing is a compelling offer, because a compelling offer is 10 times more powerful than a convincing argument. It's like, this offer is so compelling that I am just going to buy. I don't need to be convinced. The offer in itself is good enough. And that is the sign that your marketing is hitting. Which brings us to mistake number 1. When it comes to putting together ads or a funnel or anything that's going to be selling your product and service, they sit down, they talk about their company, how long they've been in business, they speak about their founders, then they list out all of the services and features of whatever it is that they've got, and they murder the money. I can hear it right now. That is the sound of money being murdered. Instead, what you want to do is you want to be thinking about, where does my prospect want to be? What is the big benefit that them buying my product or service unlock for them? When you start speaking about the desired end state, that's when you start to see conversion rates go through the absolute roof. Because people don't give a fuck about you or your company or the products and services that you've got. Despite what you think, despite having these little rooms where you sit down with branding experts and they talk about the Pantones of your color palette, that's not the things that makes the cash register ring. The thing that they care about is themselves and the problem that they've got and where they want to get to. That's the only thing that they care about. And therefore, you need to be focusing all of your marketing efforts around them and what it is that they want. Your job when you run ads is to get people to raise their hand in a sea of people and say, I have got this problem that you say that you can help me solve. And that's all that you want to do. When you start talking about the prospect, all you need to do is look at the number of times that you say your company's name, we or our, versus you and your, and speaking directly to the prospect. And 80% of the messaging in all of your ads should be talking about them, and only 20% should be talking about your system, your products, your service, and how you solve that. And the way that we solve this is in the first couple of seconds of your ads, you need to very clearly state first that you understand the problem, right? That is what we call dog whistle copy. It is a specific words that basically tell the market, this is specifically for you. Then the second thing that we need to do is we need to show them the exact outcome that that they can expect to achieve by paying attention, which brings us to the third point. We need to sell them on paying attention to this right now so they don't go on to all the other chaos that is in their newsfeed or in their day. So in my infamous sell like crazy ads that have probably stalked you all over the internet, you'll see that while the ad opens up and it specifically kicks the bruised knee of my prospect incredibly hard because my market is hyper jaded from all the gurus that are popping up in their newsfeed selling them solutions, I need to spend a good chunk of time really just putting a little bit of vinegar into that wound, right? And kicking the bruised knee and saying, hey, I know the problem and I know it intimately well. But what you'll also see is that while the ad creative itself intimately goes into the problem, there's always a big benefit in the headline that I partner with that ad. So the way that I do that is that I frame before they've even watched the ad that there is a big specific benefit with a lot of intrigue so that they want to watch it, and then they watch it because everyone's making offers, right? Everyone's saying you're going to get this big benefit. I know my market intimately well. I stalk these people. I have been studying them obsessively for many, many years, and I know the number one thing that they want more than anything is hundreds of high quality leads that show up credit card in hand and that buy with the least resistance possible. So I have to state that straight up in the headline of the ad. Then we go into unpacking all the problems that they've got. Running a business is stressful. It's like sticking a scorpion chili up your ass and walking across a bear trail of Lego naked or whatever it was that I said.
It's like sticking a ghost pepper up your ass and walking barefoot on a trail of Lego.
That is like, there's humor and there's also some truth to it, right? It is very, very hard to run a business. So I'm not only kicking the bruised knee, but I'm also empathizing with them and I'm showing them that I understand them because I am them. Then we get to the solution. And because, in any given market, like this skepticism is just going up and up and up because the barriers to entry to start a business in this day and age is pretty much nothing. It's like an internet connection and TikTok account and you're in business. And so because of that, the internet has been proliferated with people that don't know what the fuck that they're talking about. They're making offers, people are buying those offers, then the market is figuring out these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and then they don't know how I'm different to that person who doesn't know what they're talking about. So the only way that I can prove to those people that I know, in fact, what the fuck I'm talking about is to actually prove it in the ad. And that's why your ads and your marketing need to be valuable in themselves. So I spent the first half of my ad saying, you've probably tried this, your life is probably like this is the pain, and then you probably want this big benefit, and I make them a little claim, well, let me show you that I can actually help you by actually helping you right now in this ad. And once you do this, you just start to see that click-through rates go up, the conversion rates go through the roof because you're already answering the biggest question in the prospect's mind, is this gonna work for me? And you've already started to demonstrate in the actual ad itself, you're already giving them the little entree, the little tester, the little hors d'oeuvre to actually prove that this food actually tastes good and that you know what you're talking about. So that's mistake number one, the buried benefit, which brings us to the second mistake. Whenever you're putting together an ad, most people think about the product or service that they're selling as an insider. They are somebody that is an insider into their industry, and all different industries have their own vernacular and their own terminology. What people do is they forget about what it was like when they were the customer, and they load it up with all this jargon and these highly technical terms that alienate people. You want to speak to your prospect like a fifth grader. You want to make sure that everybody in your market would be able to understand exactly what it is that you're saying by using language that is written at a fifth grade reading level. When I started to do this with my ads, my conversion rates shot up through the freaking roof because you will never alienate somebody by making something too clear. The moment that they hear one piece of information that they don't understand, they skip, they move on to the next thing. They're not gonna burden the mental load of trying to decipher what it is that you're talking about. It needs to be Sesame Street simple. And the reason that people make this mistake is that they think that they need to sound super technical and super advanced in what it is that they do in order to kind of flex to the market that they know what they're talking about. And people just tune out. They're like, bro, this is too much. Like, just keep it simple. Use the big benefit and just communicate it in a way that is just black and white and super, super simple to understand. They don't need to know all the technicalities. That doesn't show to them that you know what you're talking about more because you're using all these technical terms. But like, a sign of a true expert is that someone that can take something that's so complex and they can boil it down into something that's just super, super simple. And a great hack for doing this guys, is you take whatever marketing collateral that you're gonna put out, whether it's an ad, it's a piece of website copy, or it's a script for a video ad, and put it through an app called the Hemingway app. And what that is it's a free app. You can basically put your copy in there and it will show you all the places that your language is just too technical. It will also show you the Flesch Kincaid score, which is the reading level. And you just keep editing your copy until you get out all of these little snags. And it's super simple to understand. There's nothing that's gonna confuse people. And when your message is easy to consume, your conversion rates go through the roof. Instead of using industry terms and vernacular, what you wanna do is you wanna use the exact verbatim language that your prospects speak in. And the best place to get this stuff is to go onto Reddit forums, to look at your comments on your ads, to look at comments on YouTube videos. And you want to literally copy exactly what it is they're saying and then put them into a swipe file. You don't want to rewrite them. You do not want to edit them. You want to use them verbatim because that is your market, right? Amazon reviews, all of those kind of things. So you're not thinking about all the technical terms. You're thinking about exactly how my market speaks. So the only way to actually improve the conversion rate is to improve the consumption. And the way that you do that is by making your message in itself super easy to consume. And that's mistake number 2, jargon overload, which brings us to the third mistake. Most people think that they can sit down and that they can just make an offer to people, that they can just claim that you're gonna get this benefit from buying my product or service. However, the market is extremely jaded, as we've just covered. And if you're going out there and you're like, okay, here's how to lose weight. Bro, that ad may have worked 50 years ago. You can't even say, here's how to lose 10 kgs. You can't even do any of that anymore because the market is just so jaded. And other than just providing value to your marketplace, the thing that you need to make sure that is present in all of your ads, funnels, and messaging is that the proof of what you've got is louder than the claims that you're making. Because in a world where marketers are just all competing with each other, and it's pretty much a game of who can scream the offer to the marketplace louder than the other person. And so you need to pile on the undeniable, undoubtable proof of exactly the benefit that you're saying that you've achieved this hundreds, if not thousands of times for your marketplace. Yes, this person did this and they got XYZ result. And then in the prospect's mind, they're like, yeah, but that's a woman and I'm a man, or that person's young and I'm old. Then you bring up the next avatar. So there is so much unquestionable proof on there that the prospect is like, okay, that's a big benefit. I really want that. So all of that doubt that I have in my mind has been addressed because the proof is louder than the claims. So let's just say that you're a marketing agency and you're saying, hey, you can help people generate 100 leads, 50 leads, or you can get them higher Google rankings. Every time you make it a claim, you need to back it up with proof, regardless of whatever it is that you've got. If you're in property investment and you're like, this is how you can get a 300% return on your investment in property, blah, 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 blah. Again, show me the proof, bro. I need to see the receipts. You can't simply say it anymore because there's already 1,000 other guys in the feed that is saying the same thing, right? There is something called the Facebook pixel. And what it does is soon as somebody clicks on a fitness ad or a property investment ad or a digital marketing ad, it signals to the algorithm that this person's in the market. And then guess what happens? There is a flood of ads that show up and chase them all around the internet that know that they're in the market. And guess what all those ads are doing? They're all shouting claims. So it's almost a game of who can have the most proof is going to be the most compelling. And when you fix the skepticism by constantly providing undeniable proof and also showing people that you can help them by actually helping them, then all the resistance to buy gets removed. And all the doubts around, yeah, I'm different, this is not gonna work for me, I've tried something similar, how do I know this is gonna work? You're answering that objection in the actual ad. Because the thing holding people back from responding to your ads and your messaging is that they don't believe it. So when you're constantly peppering them with proof all throughout it, this is how you double your leads and half your customer acquisition cost, which is mistake number 3, claims louder than the proof. And if you can solve making these 3 mistakes in your marketing, I promise you, whatever the ROAS is on your ads, whatever your cost per lead is, whatever your customer acquisition cost is, that shit is gonna drop in half, the ROAS is gonna double, and it's gonna go through the roof. And if you liked this video, you're gonna absolutely love this one that I made on how to create a hero mechanism for your business to take things even to the next level. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.